Welcome to the 2021 Virtual Evergreen Gala, presented by Denali Advanced Integration. The first ever Virtual Evergreen Gala also marks the 20th year of this memorable and impactful event. Join us as we take a look back throughout the years at all the familiar faces, extravagant decors, and the incredible support of our community.
Wow, celebrating 20 years of the Evergreen Gala.
So much history, and what an event.
Can you feel it?
I sure can.
Good evening and welcome to the 2021 Evergreen Gala. My name is Matt Lorch. I'm a news anchor and reporter at Q13 News in Seattle, and I am so incredibly honored and excited to be here with you again for this meaningful evening. Thank you for joining us tonight and showing your support for Evergreen Health as we raise money to support newborns and their families by upgrading the Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. I'm feeling really good about tonight because I'm joined by my friend and co-host, one of my favorite people, Tiernan Madorno.
Thank you so much, Matt. And hello, everyone. I am so honored to be with you here tonight for this special evening. I'm Tiernan Madorno, local performer and MC host. And we've all just seen how much Evergreen Health means to our community over the past year. And tonight, we can do our part to show our support.
You're absolutely right, Tiernan. And tonight is a special one. Tonight marks a major milestone, the 20th anniversary of this iconic event. That heartwarming photo montage you just saw to open our program, that was a collection of some of the most memorable moments over the past 2 decades.
So true, Matt. The looks and styles may have changed, but one thing is for sure. The community continues to stand with Evergreen Health so we can shine brightly for the next 20 years and more.
All right, what do you say we get it started? Throughout our program, you're going to hear directly from community partners, physicians, nurses, and we will share the success stories of patients who overcame challenges with their newborn babies thanks to Evergreen Health's NICU. To give or donate by phone, all you have to do is use your phone's camera or a QR code reader app to scan the QR code that you see on the screen right now.
For those of you who registered for updates on tonight's event, you would have received a text message as well to help make the donation process a little easier.
Yeah, we are going high tech to make this process super easy for you at home.
You can also get social. Snap and post a picture of you watching the gala at home, or share your thoughts on tonight's program to Facebook or Instagram and use the hashtag EvergreenGala21. We will be giving away some John Howie gift cards on our social channels, so get those thumbs ready.
I love it, Tiernan. It's about spreading the word, right? Social media is a great way to raise awareness about your passion for Evergreen Health and a fantastic way to inspire your own network to give.
We also have some exciting auction items and experiences for you to bid on. The auction closes tonight at 9 p.m., so get your bids in right away.
I love it, Tiernan. So many ways to get involved. We want to take a moment now to recognize our amazing sponsors who made this event possible. Starting with our presenting sponsor, Denali Advanced Integration. Our diamond sponsors, Bellevue Healthcare and Al and Donna DeYoung. Thank you for your tremendous support. A big thank you to our benefactor sponsors.
Champion sponsors.
Contributor sponsors.
Advocate sponsors.
Underwriting sponsors.
PR, media, and auction lot sponsors.
And friends of Evergreen Health. Thank you all for your continued support.
Yes, Matt, we are also grateful for our gala partners that continue to support Evergreen Health. John Howie, Bear Winery, and the many community partners. We are thankful to have John Howie here tonight to kick off the evening with a fun cocktail.
Please join us in welcoming John Howie, renowned chef and restaurateur, to the stage.
Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. How you doing, John?
I'm doing great, Tiernan, and I'm so glad to be here tonight for Evergreen Health.
Well, we are thrilled to have you, and you know, especially considering the times, my gosh, it's been rough out here for everyone, and especially for folks in your industry, you know, but in spite of that, you still find ways to give back. You know, can you tell us a little bit more about why Evergreen Health means so much to you?
Well, Evergreen Health has been the health care for our family for the past 30 years.
Incredible.
Yeah, my son, my youngest son, was born there, and then I had both of my knees replaced, so I've got reborn knees too. So
it's
a lot of
almost
fun.
like you needed a little help from Evergreen. I dig that. And you're also here tonight to share a special cocktail with us, I understand.
We are. So we've got a Cosmopolitan, which was made famous on Sex and the City.
I love it.
And it's just a really nice little drink. And those of you at home who ordered a cocktail, you've got this ready to go. So we're going to show you how to do it. And then those of you who did not order it, open that bottle of Bear wine and enjoy some wine with us. So we're going to put a little bit of cranberry juice in here. We're equal parts of cranberry. And then we've got some sweet and sour, which is just our lime juice, fresh lemon juice, a little bit of simple syrup. And then the best part of the drink is the Stark Vatten, which is our vodka, which we make inside of our distillery down in Bothell. And Stark Vatten is just strong water in Swedish. So kind of a fun little thing to match it up. And then we're going to shake this cocktail up and get some of those ice crystals in there. Sounds good. I think it's going to whisper at you.
Now we're talking.
There we go.
Hot diggity.
And then we're just going to strain that off. Get some of those crystals into that cocktail. And those of you at home can pick these up and start enjoying.
I love it. It matches my dress. It's like I got the memo. I'm here for it.
So tonight they also have packages of food at home that we created for them. So there's filet mignons and salmon. You can have a great glass of wine with a filet or have a cocktail with your salmon. It's going to be a really fun night at home for these people. We've made it easy. So enjoy tonight, have fun, and let's raise some money for Evergreen Health.
I love it. And thank you so, so much, John. On behalf of Evergreen Health and everyone here tonight, again, a hearty thank you.
You're welcome.
Mixing it up, a big thank you to John Howie for his continued support of Evergreen Health. I can't wait to celebrate with one of those cocktails when we hit our goal this evening. So tonight is all about coming together to benefit the great work at Evergreen Health's Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. Here to tell us more about how Evergreen Health is taking care of our most precious patients and families during these challenging times is Chief Nursing Officer of Evergreen Health, Mary Shepler. Mary, thank you so much for being with us. I think as we have traveled through the pandemic, so many of us just have greater respect for nurses and what you are doing every day. As the vaccine marathon rollout continues, I just wanted to check in on you and your team. How is everybody doing?
You know, I say the vaccine gave us hope. It's the one thing that we didn't have a year ago, right? Is we saw this pandemic roll in. Our world's changed, right? We close our doors to visitors. We close our communities, right? And when we heard that vaccine was coming out, I think it provided us hope. And so it's been an incredible year. And to have hope at the end of it, I once said hope isn't a strategy, and hope sometimes is the only strategy. And that's where we're going right now with the vaccine rollout. And in the meantime, as we're all getting vaccinated, right, it continues to be the most important thing you can do to support nursing and healthcare is to keep yourself safe until we have that herd immunity. And so continuing on with that message, why we provide hope is just such a key portion of what we do.
Can you feel that optimism? Do you see it at work with your staff?
Yeah, I can see we gave our first vaccines the night of December 23rd, and it was unique for me because it's actually my birthday, and I had said all along that what I wanted for my birthday was vaccine, and it came in that day. And so as we vaccinated those first healthcare givers and watching them cry as we cry, right, of seeing that something here to help us make it through. And so as nursing and caregiving staff, we're always looking for that hope, right? We are those people who bring it. And so being able to do that was an incredible journey.
Part of that hope is what happens at the NICU every day, our Neonatal Intensive Care Unit. And this is where we treat our youngest patients. For those who are watching who have never had a touch point with the NICU, what do they need to know about it?
I always say no one ever plans to have a NICU baby or a neonatal intensive care unit baby, right? I think most of our babies are born at between 38 and 40 weeks, happy, healthy, and never expect that NICU experience. But when you need a NICU, right, you want one that can provide the highest level of care for the tiniest. And so we are talking babies of less than a pound. And sometimes even our healthy 38 and 40 week newborns end up in a NICU, and you want to be able to provide that state-of-the-art care for anyone who walks through our doors.
You know, as the parent of a child who ended up in the NICU and got that care, I can talk, personally about how we benefited as a family from that experience. I know there are unique times that we are facing right now. How has the staff in the NICU stepped up, knowing that we want to treat these newborns, we need to treat them and support families, but also we're in a pandemic right now?
Right, so I think what the biggest change is, right, Probably when you had your son or daughter in a NICU, the grandparents could come visit. There was support for the mother, the father in a different way. You could bring aunts and uncles and children. And with the pandemic, that really has been limited. And so I think even the more focused family-centered care has had to happen. And our nurses and our physicians and our respiratory therapists have become some of that family to support those mom and dads in those first days of that uncertainty of what's next, what's going to help me. And so I think that's been the biggest change throughout healthcare, is how we've turned into family for a lot of our patients.
This community is tuning in tonight because they want to deliver an impact. They want to make a difference. So in talking about the NICU, the generous donations that pour in tonight, what immediate impact will that have on our youngest patients, our newborns and their families?
Right. I think the biggest impact is we're redesigning how that care is provided to make it more family-centered. So the way the previous NICU was designed, there wasn't as much family space. And so what we've learned over the years is we need that family space. And then there's the technology, right? I look at when I started practicing so many years ago, and what it's now is embracing more of that technology, but not letting it get in the way of our patient-centered care. And so looking for some of those bedside equipment that allows the parents to be more involved in their care, et cetera, and it allows us to expand our unit. So that is one of the things we will be doing with the resource being given to us, is just that, is expanding the number of level 3 NICU rooms, which is our highest level in rooms, so that we can take care of more of these type of babies.
It sounds like you're excited about what's to come because of what it can do for families.
It is, and I say all of us come with families and friends, right? And how do we integrate them? None of us do this alone. Our journeys are that we share with other people, and so making it so that very highest level technological care, right? Ventilators and alarms and monitors, right? But there's still a family. And so how do we do that and integrate it better? And that's what some of the new technology allows us to do.
And that's what tonight is about.
Absolutely.
Mary, thank you. Thank you for doing the important work.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been an honor.
Denali Advanced Integration and Denali CEO and founder Majdi Daher have been a pillar in our community and a strong supporter of Evergreen Health Foundation for many years. Denali is also tonight's presenting sponsor. Please welcome Chair of Evergreen Health Foundation's Board of Trustees, Anthony Ambrose, to the stage for this special presentation.
Good evening, everyone. As the chairman of the Evergreen Health Foundation Board, I'm so proud of how our community continues to step up to support this great organization. It really does feel like a big extended family that is all in it together. In Denali Advanced Integration, a family-owned business led by their CEO, Majdi Daher, exemplifies what it means to be a community partner. Denali has been the presenting sponsor of the Evergreen Gala for 4 years now, and we are grateful for that support year after year. Majdi Daher also served for many years as the chairman of the Evergreen Health Foundation Board and has been a huge help for me personally as I transitioned into that role this past year. Tonight, we would like to honor Denali and Majdi Daher for their tremendous contributions to Evergreen Health with a special award. Please join me in welcoming Majdi Daher, CEO of Denali Advanced Integration, to the stage.
Wow. Thank you so much, Anthony, for those kind words, and to everyone at Evergreen Health for this heartfelt recognition. It's interesting that Anthony used the word family. My journey with Evergreen Health has a personal story, and it actually began at the NICU, our benefactor for tonight. 17 years ago, my now athletic, smart, and kind daughter was born at Evergreen Health with some complications. The NICU team at Evergreen Health was able to not only care for our newborn, but also help me and my wife learn how to handle and support a premature baby and the unique needs that go along with it. And today, as she prepares to go off to college, I can't help but remain grateful for Evergreen Health. I was so impressed by the level of care and empathy that the healthcare team at Evergreen Health showed our family that I wanted to be a part of their family to help care for the people and serve the community. At Denali, we use technology to connect our customers with their clients and communities globally. And our core values of community and philanthropy make supporting the Evergreen Gala a great honor. While I and the Denali team appreciate this amazing recognition, the real recognition goes to the heroes on the front lines at EvergreenHealth. Thank you for everything that you do. Now, let's see that great work in action in this feature story of EvergreenHealth's NICU and the families they help every day.
So I had been having some shortness of breath. Being pregnant for the first time, you don't know what's normal. And then we get in there and they take my blood pressure and it was, I don't know, honey, it was like
180 over 110.
Yeah.
And that's when they told us, hey, you're going to have to go over to the hospital and get checked out.
At that point, I'm high risk. So they took over and I was in there for,
I want to say almost 2 weeks, a week and a half.
Yeah.
2 weeks. And then we ended up having Madeline.
These families are dealing with stresses that we can't even imagine. And these babies can be so incredibly sick. Maddie was also a premature baby who had a lot of respiratory issues, and she had so many hurdles stacked against her. Through all of it, her family was incredible, and really there at the bedside with us. And we knew she was going to end up in really good hands when she was ready to go home. And that's what makes all of this worthwhile.
And I remember being so worried. And I would walk by that wall and look at these babies at, 24 weeks, 25 weeks, 1 pound, 9 ounce, 2 pounds, 1 ounce, whatever. And seeing, a couple years later, their picture on the wall. And for that, that gave me hope. And I knew she would be up there one day.
I wouldn't have changed any of it. I wouldn't have changed any of it because, she's perfect. She's absolutely perfect.
What was unique about our story is my water broke 22 weeks and 6 days.
Yeah.
And Ethan was like, oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Remember?
Yeah, I thought it was nothing. I was wrong.
He was trying to calm me down. And I knew something was wrong. So we came in right away. And from that moment on, I wasn't allowed to go home.
Savannah was born extremely premature. She was 23 weeks, which is, at the age of just that limit of being able to survive being born. And she was incredibly feisty from the very beginning. And you could see her spunk, but she definitely was dealing with a lot of hurdles with her prematurity and her lungs. And so she was incredibly sick. She would have one good day and some very bad days. And, and we just did our best to help support them through all of this, even with COVID on. And, like we've been talking about, just let them know that there really is that light at the end of the tunnel.
With COVID, our family couldn't come ever. Because one thing that was so challenging is that Ethan couldn't come with me to a majority of my appointments. And I know that moms to be and moms who are having kiddos all experience that. So your Evergreen nurses and your doctors, they became your family.
Our primary nurses were amazing. I feel like it's hard with masks, right? You can see their smiles through the mask, and they're always encouraging, and they're always like, it almost felt like Savannah had 2 new aunts, so it's kind of like coming in and being relieved, knowing that she's in really good hands, and they're always giving us the information that we need. And what's what I like about here, it's like, it's not like you're a number or an ID badge or something like that. You're actually a person that it seems like everybody cares about. Like, they made a very, the most scary experience in my life.
Yeah.
It's almost joyous because you were happy to talk to them because they had always had positive information. Even if it was negative information, she'd spin it positively somehow and make you feel better about what was going on. And I don't think I could say thank you enough or do enough to show her how much I appreciated what she did for our family.
Savannah wouldn't be here without them. And that's every single one of them. Wish I could look every single person that ever came through our room and tell them like how much they meant to us. I mean, all those nurses, all the doctors, Dr. Annie, they made our dream come true. Savannah is here truly because of them and her will, of course. But there's nobody like them. They are the most incredible. We always call them our NICU angels. They are our NICU angels, and we carry each of them with us always, every single day.
Wow, I love hearing directly from the families benefiting from amazing care their little ones received at Evergreen Health's NICU. For everyone watching at home, I know you're as inspired as I am to support Evergreen Health, so make a donation now and pledge your support for these healthcare heroes of the NICU. If you haven't done so already, use the QR code or go to the URL below to make a donation right now. And now, we have a special treat for you. Here with us tonight is one of the stars of our feature video, NICU Medical Director, Dr. Annie Wynn Vermillion. Dr. Annie, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. I'm really excited to chat with you and learn a little bit more about the work you do. And I think the viewers at home are too. But before we do that, we were nattering a little bit earlier. I'm wondering if you can tell us what brings someone to the career of neonatology, which you know I struggle to say.
So that's a great question. I think we all have different motivations for why we pick a different field. For me, I always knew that my eldest brother had passed away when he was 10 days old. He was born in a different country without the amazing healthcare system that we have here. So when I was, in medical school and I was just, my natural curiosity kept looking back into it and saying, why wasn't he able to breathe? What happened and why wasn't he able to survive? And every time I talked more to my parents about it, my mother, was really heartbroken and, she really blamed herself for my brother's death. And she thought it was because it was her first time having a baby. She didn't know what she was doing. It was so much guilt that she kept bottled up inside. And that's what I wanted to make a difference about. I didn't want any baby to not have access to the right medical care so that they can have a chance for life. And then also, that no family should ever sit there and think that it's their fault and carry that guilt with them. So it's been really rewarding to be able to make a difference in that field.
Wow, and that's powerful to hear. And thank you for sharing that vulnerable moment. And I'm just wowed by you. You've got a fan in me, as I've said a couple times, but to just have the moments of our life create us and sometimes even chart our destiny and our course. It's just amazing to hear. So thank you for sharing that. Now on to the grown-up stuff, if you will. And I guess I'll say this past year, it's been incredibly challenging. How has this supported the community? What has it meant to you and the rest of the staff in NICU during these times?
So the staff are amazing and they work every single day to help care for these babies. But knowing that you have the support of the community in, securing more and better equipment, improving the facilities, and even just that emotional support of, having your back when you're working so hard every day. It keeps everyone going that much further as they're working so hard.
I can't imagine the power of community in times like this really coming together. I love that. So speaking of, we're here tonight to support this incredible initiative for the NICU. And what do you see that the fundraising, how do you think or feel that the fundraising will directly impact the work that y'all do in the NICU and for families and the care that you can provide for families in NICU and living in the region?
Yeah, we've already had such a great example of that. You know, a couple of years ago, there was fundraising efforts with the Golden Hour Project to build the infant stabilization room, which has been so instrumental in improving care for the babies. So we know that in the first couple hours after birth, the baby's first breath and all of the care that goes into that makes such a huge difference for their outcomes. And so having that infant stabilization room right next to where mom delivers, we have all the resources of the NICU right in there. We can optimize and streamline care, and we've done, you know, some fantastic work in the past couple of years of improving all of that because the infant stabilization room is there. There's also a camera so that mom can watch all of that and dad can be in the room. And so it's really, you know, been such a blessing to have that. And so knowing that, you know, all of that equipment has been fantastic, you know, looking towards the future as we're continuing to improve the NICU, you know, getting better equipment for the NICU so that we can get even better ventilators that can be gentle on baby lungs, you know, having improved facilities so that families can create a little NICU nursery there so that they can actually be there with their babies and create that family bond. I think that would be huge in improving, you know, care.
Absolutely. You know, and I think as you're just kind of saying this out loud, it's something that I don't know that I would have naturally thought about. It's like, how do you create an environment where mom can be close to baby, especially given the impact of COVID on top of it, and like technology and equipment is critical to that. So good to know. And thanks for taking us through that a little bit. What do I got next for you? So, oh my gosh, yes, I love this one. So I can't even begin to imagine the kinds of bonds and relationships that you make, not only with the wee ones, but with the families. And, you know, how have you been able to continue to support families that might not be able to get quite as close as we would have in another time during the pandemic? How have you negotiated that?
Yeah, so you know that's definitely been a challenge. You know, in the NICU itself, families are there for days, weeks, sometimes months. So the staff really do bond with the families, and you get to know them so well. We have, you know, nurses that sign up to be primaries for the for the families, and you know they go along for the ride along with the families. Wow. You know, we have days where they're ups and days where they're downs, and on the down days you're crying alongside with the families. On the up days, you know, you're definitely cheering, and as the babies are getting ready for going home, yeah. You know, there's such an amazing cheering squad with all of that. So then the staff have always been there right alongside the families, but it's definitely been a challenge with COVID because we've had to limit the visitation.
Sure.
Families haven't been able to bring in that extensive social network that helps them deal with all the stresses of the NICU, you know, the intimidating medical equipment, the stresses of, you know, whether their baby's going to live or die, you know, when their babies are so sick. Having that extensive network is so important. So, you know, we've tried our best to really help support the families through that. We also have the Angel Eye, which has really been great. It's a little camera that's over the bed of the baby. And so families can access it from home through their computer, through a secured network, and they're able to see their babies. They can have grandparents and family and friends watch their babies too. So that's also been really nice. And I'm also impressed with just the ingenuity of people. I mean, you know, there's been so much FaceTiming in the NICU, which has been really great to be able to have families continue to connect with their loved ones even when their loved ones can't come into the NICU. So
wow, y'all are like real life superheroes. That's so cool to say. I mean, to hear about. And I think even just, you know, maybe becoming a part of the family, especially in those moments like what you're talking about in these times. And it's great to know that there's a little angel eye there watching out for everybody too. That's really cool. I like the name of that. Tell me, yes, the kids, how are the kids doing now? How are they doing?
So kids, they are amazing, and they're so resilient. And that's part of the reason why I love the NICU is they, things that would floor us as adults, they bounce back from. So there's just this growth and this plasticity that babies have to be able to overcome all of these hurdles. So usually we have an annual NICU reunion and families bring back babies and we get to see them going from little tiny little beings to little toddlers and young children running around. It's probably one of the most rewarding things. You know, because of the pandemic, we haven't been able to do that. So we've definitely been continue to connect with families through the social networks where they can post pictures of their babies. You can, nurses definitely keep and doctors keep in touch with the families to be able to kind of watch them grow. And we love seeing those pictures. And it's been an amazing experience. So babies, amazing resiliency compared to us. They impress me every day.
I believe it. I believe it. My feelometer just went way up hearing about them. I dig it. I dig it. All righty. So to kind of wrap us up here and close things out, I want to end on a hope note. So I want to know what you and your team are hopeful that the changes that will be made in the family maternity center and specifically in the NICU, thanks to what our community can contribute tonight.
To continue to keep improving the care in the NICU, if we can get updated equipment. We've made so many efforts to continue to update our protocols and our guidelines for care of the baby as, new evidence comes in. And this is perfect timing for all of that, because if we can update our ventilators, update the equipment in the NICU, that would just continue to allow us to give state-of-the-art care for the babies. The biggest part we were talking about, the facilities, the families are really away from home for so long. To be able to have a second home where they can create a little nursery, be able to do kangaroo cares with their baby, have that more intimate, private, homey space for them would be huge to just forge those family bonds that they need to start in the NICU that can go on forever.
For sure. So I have to say that's our time for today. You have a new fan in me for sure. Thank you again for all the incredible work that you and your team do for our communities and our youngest, most at-risk folks. Thank you for being here tonight, Dr. Annie.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
A pleasure.
Throughout this event, you have learned about the healthcare heroes at Evergreen Health, and you have heard about the magic being performed at the NICU every day. It's personal for me and my family. Our son spent 3 weeks in the NICU, and I'm here to tell you, not only do they save the lives of newborns, but they lift up families like ours. The people at Evergreen Health, they are doing the hard work. Now it's our turn to support them. So this is the point of the program where we turn to you and ask you to make a tax-deductible donation. And with that said, let's look at some of the generous donors who have already committed to our cause.
The Spirit of Giving Award is an Evergreen Gala tradition that spotlights the individuals, families, and organizations who embody the philanthropic spirit. Here to shine a light on this year's honorees are CEO of Evergreen Health, Dr. Jeff Tomlin, and Chair of Evergreen Health Foundation's Board of Trustees, Anthony Ambrose.
The Evergreen Gala Spirit of Giving Award is given to individuals or organizations in our community who represent the very best in community philanthropy. They are nominated and then selected by the Evergreen Health Foundation Executive Board.
As the COVID-19 pandemic spread throughout our community, so did the efforts of the people who brought much-needed aid and inspiration to those in need, and they continue to do so. While healthcare workers are putting themselves at the front lines of the pandemic, everyday people are coming together to find creative ways to lend a hand, share resources, and reach out to their own communities and beyond.
This year, our annual Spirit of Giving Award honors the Chinese Community Alliance, which consists of nearly 100 organizations in Washington State, including the United Chinese Americans of Washington, Guardian of Angels Charitable Foundation, Washington University of Science and Technology Alumni Association of Seattle, and CMOMS Club that have embodied the very best in community philanthropy. To date, the Chinese Community Alliance has donated almost 500,000 pieces of personal protective equipment throughout our community, including Evergreen Health.
In a small ceremony on April 6, 2020, the Chinese Community Alliance donated $140,000 to Evergreen Health Foundation in recognition of the health system's ongoing efforts to treat the COVID-19 outbreak in our region.
The donation from the Chinese Community Alliance helped secure additional personal protective equipment for Evergreen Health providers and staff, and we are so grateful. We are honored to bestow the annual Spirit of Giving Award to the Chinese Community Alliance, as they truly demonstrate philanthropy at its finest and the act of coming together in times of need. We have with us tonight Winston Lee and Hong Chi Wagner from the United Chinese Americans of Washington, Chong Chen from the Hua Chung University of Science and Technology Alumni Association of Seattle, and Marlena Ma from CMOM's Club. On behalf of all of us at Evergreen Health and the Evergreen Health Foundation, thank you to the Chinese Community Alliance and the many organizations you represent for being a pillar in our community and supporting Evergreen Health. Here to accept the award and say a few words tonight is Winston Lee from the United Chinese Americans of Washington.
Thank you, Dr. Tomlin and Mason Ambrose, for your kind words. And thank you, Evergreen Health Foundations, for the 2021 Evergreen Spirit of the Giving Award. We are deeply honored to receive this award. In late February of last year, when COVID-19 hit the US, an overnight life care center in Kirkland tragically became the epicenter. Evergreen Hospital and its heroic medical staff touched the hearts of local Chinese Americans who knew very well from our knowledge from Wuhan, China, how devastating COVID virus could be to communities and people. A few leaders from 4 Chinese community organizations got together and asked ourselves what we could do to help. We were quickly put in touch with Evergreen Health Foundation. Through email exchanges, we found out that the hospital was facing a severe shortage of PPEs and funds to purchase it. With those information, we launched community fundraising in March, starting from only 4 organizations. Soon, the list of participating organizations kept growing longer and longer. We are deeply grateful to all doctors and nurses who are working tirelessly to help keep our communities safe. Today, receiving this incredible award, we want to express our deep gratitude and appreciation to Evergreen Health Foundation, who played an important role in connecting our community with the hospital and assisting our fundraising and PPE donations effort. We will never forget the support and help you gave to us. Thank you.
Thank you to the entire Chinese Community Alliance and the nearly 100 organizations who stepped up during these challenging times to support Evergreen Health and the Evergreen Health Foundation. At this time, we would like to spotlight one of our diamond sponsors, Bellevue Healthcare. Bellevue Healthcare is a longtime supporter of the Evergreen Gala and the Evergreen Health Foundation. Please join us in welcoming Bellevue Healthcare President Joel Gallion and CEO and founder Peter Norman to the stage.
As a longtime supporter of Evergreen Health and the tremendous work they do in our community, we are honored to come alongside as the diamond sponsor for this year's Evergreen Gala. At Bellevue Healthcare, it is our mission to enhance the quality of life for people who need medical equipment by providing excellent products and unmatched service. With 18 locations across 3 states, our goal is to allow the best possible care to happen at home.
It's been inspiring to see our teams work closely together with the healthcare heroes at Evergreen Health, and we couldn't be more proud to sponsor this year's event as we work together to fund a much-needed community resource. On behalf of Bellevue Healthcare, we would like to thank everyone watching tonight for your generous support. This is what community is all about.
Thank you to Bellevue Healthcare for being a diamond sponsor this evening and continued support over the years. Learn more about Bellevue Healthcare's award-winning services by visiting BellevueHealthcare.com.
Thank you for supporting Evergreen Health and the Evergreen Gala. I want to now take a moment to thank all of you at home watching tonight's program and the many of you who have been supporting Evergreen Health over the past 20 years at the Evergreen Gala. As the CEO of Evergreen Health, I get to hear firsthand the many incredible stories of how the community continues to step up and to support us in so many thoughtful ways. Especially during these challenging times when we've needed each other the most, you stood by us and showed us you care. We hope we've been able to show you the same level of support and commitment. So from everyone at Evergreen Health and the Evergreen Health Foundation, thank you. Thank you for your continued support as we move forward together.
Wow, what an amazing night it has been. The 20th anniversary of the Evergreen Gala did not disappoint, and the donations, those keep rolling in. You know, to echo Dr. Tomlin's words, we are so grateful for all of you at home supporting Evergreen Health tonight and throughout this week.
Thank you, and thank you. My face cannot stop smiling thinking about all the wonderful care newborns and their families are going to receive in an enhanced NICU, thanks to all of your generous support. And if you haven't made a donation, it's not too late to join in the magic of giving. If you've already pledged your support, you can get social. Share the event with your friends and family and use our hashtag to win fun prizes.
Yeah, it's another way to make a difference, right? So many ways to participate and stay engaged. You see the QR code on your screen? Just takes a couple of small clicks, but you'll be making a big impact. We also want to thank our sponsors and all of our special guests and speakers in tonight's program for making it such a fantastic evening. You know, it takes the entire community coming together, and we could not do this without you. We will be announcing the final amount we raised together next week, so stay tuned. Follow Evergreen Health Foundation's social media for their latest updates. And for those of you waiting to the very last minute, the auction, by the way, that closes at 9 o'clock tonight, so keep checking and keep bidding.
But wait, we are not done. We have a special surprise for you, and we hope that you are ready to rock. In addition to delivering the best healthcare around, Evergreen Health's healthcare heroes are also known to deliver rockin' good tunes and good vibes.
And with that said, check out this really cool story of how a group of Evergreen Health's finest came together to form a creative outlet through their passion for music. And without further ado,
hey, let's rock.
Let's rock. Stay right there. You won't want to miss out on this. A behind the scenes look at Evergreen Health's Doc Band.
We started this doc band in 1993, and kind of an interesting story. It was Dr. Dave Badger, who couldn't make it today, who plays the bass. He brought his bass, and I brought my drums to the shelled out OR that is now in the Blue Zone. And our first song we played was Jumping Jack Flash. Little did we know they were having a lactation class underneath us. They came running up, stop, stop, stop. So that was the first starting of this band.
It's a great release. It's a great stress reliever. Being in a rock band and that sort of a thing. And it's something totally different than the day-to-day work that we have done, because as doctors, this consumes such a part of our lives that it's good to have other outlets.
I'm actually the weakest link of the band, so I go many steps down. Healthcare is really rewarding, but it can be stressful, and so we usually see ourselves with each other in that working environment. And so when we actually get together and play music, it's just fun. Get to see another side of everybody, and creating some music and just having a good time really is good for all of us.
Got into the doc band about 15 years ago when Kevin, the drummer, recruited me to play the Christmas party. We learned 3 songs. They loved us, and that's all we knew, so we played those 3 songs 4 times in a row. And every year they keep asking us back. They didn't have a bass player, and I had just learned to play the first 2 strings on the bass. They said, "You're hired."
Evergreen has been part of our lives for a long time, right? I've been at Evergreen for now 22 years. And if you think about it, how much time you spend at Evergreen and what you do every day, you know, helping patients, and patients helping you, everybody you work with. Evergreen has been a huge part of my life, and I can't, you know, the fulfillment you get out of all this stuff, you can't replace it anywhere else. So that's, you know, having a support of Evergreen. Evergreen, it's a two-way street. The community supporting Evergreen and Evergreen supporting the community.
I think for me, being in this band has been a real joy because you're getting together with a lot of people who deal with weighty issues in the day-to-day parts of their lives. And when you get together something like this, it's been just trying to make music together. And there's times when you do it, when everybody is all of a sudden on the same page. And even though it's work to get that song ready, when you're all doing it and you feel there's this synchrony there, it just brings this joy and satisfaction. And I think that's pretty metaphorical for a lot of things in life that we do.
My mom was a professional singer, so singing in my household was just part of the everyday thing. Dad was a musician as well, so growing up around music was a natural for me. So when I got started with the doc band, I was singing with other nurses at the time, and I'm kind of the last lady still doing it.
You're the only one that can still stand these guys?
Yeah, that's right.
I got a mask on my face with a springy little string. Gonna call up my girlfriend and give her a ring. But each time I call, I get that voicemail thing. She says no huggy, no kissy until I get a vaccine. My doctor, my pharmacist don't put that on yourself. She said don't stand in your line, I just need one myself. Oh, maybe you can treat me today. You know insurance takes too long, I would pay cash anyway. That's when she pulled in a girl and threw the mask in a gown and said no touchy, no fixie until I spray this thing down. Pfizer, Moderna, do I trust that's on the shelf? She said go lie in the gurney, put the mask on yourself. She wanted the vaccine, and I was about to get it. Then she started talking about 2 shots, started sticking one in. I said, please doctor, tell me you give it 2 at a time. He said 2 drugs, no fixie, until you get it more time. My honey, my babe, can't you put your love upon no shelf? She said, go stand in that line and keep your hands to yourself. Stand in that line and keep your hands to yourself.
Thank you for joining us this evening. This concludes our program.